Gwendolyn Brooks once said, "Poetry is life distilled," articulating that poetry is the very essence of living. Brooks was a highly regarded poet who wrote about issues with racial segregation and racial equality, as well as black nationalism. She was born on June 7, 1917, in Topeka, Kansas. She was the first child of David Anderson Brooks and Kezia Wims. Her father was a janitor at a local school and her mother was a schoolteacher. Although they both dreamed of becoming doctors, they were financially incapable of attending medical school. When Brooks was 6 weeks old, her family moved to Chicago, Illinois, hoping that the father could get a better job there. From then on, Chicago became Gwendolyn's hometown. There, her home life was very stable and loving, though her family faced a lot of racial prejudice in her school and neighborhood. At first, she attended Hyde Park High School, which was the leading white high school in the city, before transferring to the all-black Wendell Phillips School. It wasn't very long before she transferred back to another integrated school, Englewood High School. In 1936, Gwendolyn graduated from Wilson Junior College, and these four schools that she attended gave her an educated understanding of racial dynamics in Chicago and the entire country. Her understanding of racism continued to influence her writing. In 1939, Gwendolyn married Henry Lowington Blakely Jr., and together they had two children, Henry Lowington Blakely III, born on October 10, 1940, and Nora Blakely, born in 1951. She had many admirable pieces of literature that she wrote and published, such as her first published book, A Street in Bronxville, which drew instant commending acclaims. She was also the first black author to be awarded the Pulitzer Prize for excellence in literary achievements. Some of her other accomplishments includes being named Poet Laureate for the state of Illinois in 1968 and receiving several literature awards, such as the American Academy of Arts and Letters Award, the Robert Frost Medal for Lifetime Achievements by the Poetry Society of America, the National Endowment for the Arts Award, and the Shelley Memorial Award. Brooks also received over 75 honorary degrees from colleges and universities from around the world. She was known for writing folksy narrative poetry. Folksy means that it has the characteristics of traditional culture, and a narrative poem has a plot and often tells a story, similar to an epic poem but usually shorter. One of her best poems is titled, To Be in Love. To be in love is to touch with a lighter hand. In yourself you stretch, you are well. You look at things through his eyes. A cardinal is red, a sky is blue. Suddenly you know, he knows too. He is not there, but you know you are tasting together the winter or a light spring weather. His hands to take your hand is overmuch, too much to bear. You cannot look in his eyes, because your pulse must not say what must not be said. When he shuts the door, is not there. Your arms are water, and you are free with a ghastly freedom. You are the beautiful half of a golden heart. You remember and covet his mouth, to touch, to whisper on. Oh, when to declare is certain death. Oh, when to prize is to mesmerize. To see fall down the column of gold into the commonest ash. The poem To Be in Love by Gwendolyn Brooks is saying that love is great, yet difficult. Brooks begins the poem by describing someone that she is in love with. She says that she feels and sees everything just as her lover would. She feels overwhelmed when she is around him. She says, his hand to take your hand is overmuch, too much to bear, signifying how much she loves him. But the mood of the poem changes when her lover shuts the door and they break up, and she is extremely hurt. Even though she is free from him, she still remembers him. She covets his mouth or desires his lips. She has many emotions inside of her. She can't accept that she misses her love because to do so is certain death. She means that she misses her love so much that it would be too painful to think about him. Gwendolyn capitalizes death to show the magnitude to which she could go after this breakup. This capitalization makes death seem more like of a reality than a figure of speech. This poem also explains the raw emotion that Gwendolyn feels after having her heart ripped out of her. People say that nobody can understand love unless they have experienced it. Well, this poem describes what true love is. It is seeing through his eyes, and you know you are tasting together. Gwendolyn shows that love allows her to really understand her lover. There will always be impediments that separate lovers, but because of this strong bond, she has the connection to her lover that is not limited by distance. She then shows how painful it is to have love taken away, to see fall down the column of gold into the commonest ash. The column of gold is a nice metaphor that Gwendolyn uses to show the richness of her love. It also shows that a common person can feel as if they have been touched by gold when in love. Gwendolyn sees her golden world with her lover crumble after he leaves. Gwendolyn uses a nice juxtaposition when she writes, "You are free with a ghastly freedom." Ghastly means unpleasant. It is not usually associated with freedom. Gwendolyn shows that freedom can be ghastly because she is not pleased to be set free from her lover. She prefers having a lack of freedom as long as she can be with him. This poem shows the beauty and pain love can bring. Love makes people feel like they are walking on air, yet can utterly crash them at moment's notice. Still, we all search for love for the natural harmony it provides. The songs that were played during the poem were Love Story by Taylor Swift and I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston. These two songs show the contrast in the poem. The poem begins on a happy note of being in love with each other. Then, the mood changes and shows the heartache that Gwendolyn feels when she loses the person she loves. The change in poem occurs when Gwendolyn writes, "When he shuts a door," signifying the breakup. The two songs are similar to the contrast in the poem because Taylor Swift is singing about her love being a love story, while Whitney is singing about how she will always love a man that she had lost.